Hello, everyone, and welcome back to MediaMelt, the show where we talk about the media that is supposed to melt our minds, or in the very least tries to. I'm, of course, your host, Dylan Strickland, and today let's talk about The Matrix Resurrections. Joining me is The Matrix itself, Kirby Telesky. How are you doing?
It's this or homework, so
Yeah, it's hard being the one. Um,
yes.
it's just going to give you guys a breakdown of how the show is going to go today. We are going to talk about The Matrix 1 and 2 and 3 before we talk about the new one, but those all will be time-stamped in the description, so you can go and just skip to them if you want to. Also want to give you guys a reminder that we are on Spotify, and don't forget to like and subscribe for the big welcome back in 2022. But let's start off with you, Kirby. What did you think about The Matrix 1?
Uh, th- like I freaking love Keanu Reeves. Like I don't know a person that doesn't love Keanu Reeves. And I kind of want to say this is my introduction to him, right? Because I remember watching these as a kid and growing up with them. More so these than like Bill and Ted or anything or Speed or because I've actually never seen Bill and Ted. Uh,
Me neither.
okay, good.
Crazy. We're gonna get in trouble for that one.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've talked to a lot of people and like, you haven't seen Bill and Ted? Like, what's wrong with you? Anyways, uh,
Excellent, dude. I
yeah,
I know all about it, but I just haven't seen it.
yeah, same. But no, I love The Matrix. I mean, it is one of the most not groundbreaking, but most influential films in history. Like every, you can definitely tell there's a turn in cinema whenever The Matrix came out, right? Like
Mhm.
beforehand, there was nothing really as sci-fi as The Matrix, like nowhere even close. Like, yeah, I mean, sure, you got Star Wars, Star Trek, that's spacey shit, right?
Yeah.
But like, there's nothing. It was that you're inside you are a simulation, right? There's
Mhm.
nothing like that before, and then that kind of jump started a whole entire new genre afterwards, and
Yeah.
I want to say this kind of like kick-started Hollywood again. Like it made it reinvented it reinvented the film genre.
Well, I think it's definitely really, really good. I, and you know what? I was shocked while watching it. I was just thinking to myself, I was like,
Well,
I
and
genuinely can't believe what?
you never watched The Matrix,
No,
many
I've
of
seen it
them.
before. I've seen it before, but it's been like a
Okay,
good like decade. Like
okay,
honestly, like I was a
okay,
kid. And I haven't seen the second or third one before this. So,
okay.
um, but uh, but yeah, I was. You know what I'm surprised by? I couldn't believe how sci-fi it was. I think I
Yeah,
already talked to you about that. I was just in shock because I was watching it and I was like, because I had thought I knew I was like, okay, well, there's an AI or some weird alien shit that like
but no,
comes
it's
down and
completely out of here.
yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. When they come back into the regular world, it's like I thought they were just living underground, but no, they have like this spaceship and like they're moving around. It's like I was like, wow, I can't believe just how it's in the future essentially. And I was like,
Yeah.
I thought it would have been something completely different, but I'm kind of impressed by that. Um,
Uh,
Also, the color grading is so weird. It's like this.
like everything's green.
Yeah, yeah, it's so odd, but I do like that it goes back to normal kind of when they're in the
Real
like
world.
when they're not in the Matrix. Yeah, yeah.
I think the reason why the Wachowskis did that was because I mean, like you see the code of the Matrix and it's raining and it's green, right? So it's just like
Hmm.
a. I feel like that was just what they were going for. If you're in the Matrix, there's a
Yeah, I think it
slightly
works. I
green. Yeah,
think
no,
it
it
works.
works well. I don't think
Yeah.
there's a single bad thing with the Matrix. Like it's
Uh,
excellent. All right, come on.
I give it a
There's
solid
excellent.
8.5, but it definitely I
All right,
think
I mean, then what's wrong with it?
um well, first of all, the sound design is fantastic. I don't. This is just a personal preference. I don't really like the bullet like you can see it like moving through air thing that they do in
Oh, the
slow
little
mo.
like ripples.
Yeah, yeah, I don't really like that. That's just a personal thing though. But um, I can genuinely say that I think that Trinity's Oracle is fucking garbage. In fact,
Why?
because it's such bullshit, Kirby. Her Oracle is that she would fall in love with the one. Can you imagine a shittier fucking Oracle? Like I was watching this movie and I was like, oh my god. I was like, they really did her dirty with that shit. Um, I couldn't believe that, Kirby. Are you
Uh,
serious? You like that?
yes.
I was just like, oh my God, like how to write a woman horribly. Her only role is to serve the man. I was just like, it's just, it's terrible. It's horrible.
They
But,
needed a love interest.
and I'm gonna be honest, I genuinely believe this. There's hardly any chemistry between her and Neo. Like throughout all the films, I'll
What are
say
you
that.
talking about?
Every single one of them, I don't feel any chemistry between them. It's the
Dude,
driest romance I've ever seen.
dude, the entire second movie is about their chemistry.
I know that's the problem. Like, I'm aware, I understand, but I just like I don't know. I just don't buy into the Neo Trinity thing. I've never have, and unfortunately, the movies really want you to. So
It no, absolutely not. The pacing is excellent. Like I will
no,
say, I
I will
mean, like
agree.
the
No, the Matrix one is fucking fantastic. Like I said,
yeah,
it's 1.5 like away from perfect movie, but I just think that the Trinity stuff is terrible, like horrible.
like I will.
Also, I don't like the part where Morpheus is sitting in the chair, and I can't. It's one of the agents, or it's Agent Smith, pulls out the
Mhm.
gat and like somehow manages to miss him, like when he's just sitting there in the chair. Do you remember what I'm talking about? When he's all tied up and he's doing his like,
Well, yeah, and he's spazzing out.
and they bring the helicopter up, and he's got a
Yeah.
gat right there, and he's like, "Doo, doo, 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 doo," and he like shoots up the entire room, and it's like a
Oh,
cartoon because it like outlines Morpheus. I was like, why didn't he just kill him? But well,
they
whatever.
they were trying to save Morpheus.
I know they're trying to save the agents weren't.
No, but I
The
mean
agents were the one.
that
The agents were the one with the gas. They were trying to shoot him.
no, they were no. It was Neo and Trinity in the helicopter.
Yeah, at the end. But I'm talking about when the agent flies up with the gat gun. I don't think you remember it.
I don't think I do.
Yeah. He shoots at the room and it like doesn't hit Morpheus, and it's like the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Also, I love the casting of Morpheus. I
Oh,
think he's
it's
great.
perfect casting.
Yeah,
Like this is kind of I want to say this is what put Lawrence Fishburne on the map.
yeah. Oh, Boys in the Hood.
Nah, I'd never seen it.
Oh,
Never seen it.
oh, Boys in the Hood is so good, Kirby. That's a crying shame that you haven't seen that.
Haven't
Um,
seen what is it? Compton, the Compton one.
Straight Outta Compton. That's a
Yeah,
pretty good one. That's a pretty
didn't see
damn
that
good
one either.
movie too. Um, but all right. Do you have anything else to add about
Uh,
The Matrix One
I want to
besides
say
from?
that like no matter how many times I watch the Matrix series, it still completely mind fucks me, right? There's so much happening in the dialogue to where if you zone out for 1 second and you come back in, you're lost in the conversation. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that happened to me with Reloaded. Honestly,
Yeah,
and Resurrection.
I will
I
say
think they want you to feel that way though in Reloaded.
I will say like Reloaded's probably the biggest one, and because you got to sit there and you have to pay attention, otherwise you don't know what's going on.
Great
But
segue, Kirby. Let's just talk about it.
yeah, I mean with Reloaded, I mean I'm gonna go straight to the end. Like the entire climax is, I'm not calling it anticlimactic, but a lot of people call the climax anticlimactic
What is it where he
because
saves Trinity?
kind of before that when he's talking to the architect
Yeah. See, I
when he's
couldn't
just
understand. Is that the machine or is that like the Matrix?
no, that's neither.
It's
It's
the
a
guy who
program.
originally created it, right?
Yes, it's the original program that kind of, I don't want to say wrote, but engineered the Matrix, right?
Okay.
Like it was there, but he built it.
Yeah.
Okay, like he just took the supplies and he built it, and like that entire conversation was just him talking to Neo about this. Like we've had this conversation 6 times before. I already know the outcome of what's going to happen.
Hmm.
I know the outcome of it every single time because of the times it's happened before. And then you see in the TVs behind them that it's all the past interactions that he had with Neo. And
Before we move forward,
okay,
I just want to mention real quick. I know you're in the middle of talking, but Neo becoming the one in the Matrix, the first
oh, it's
one,
so good.
it's one of the coolest fucking things I've ever
Oh yeah.
seen. I genuinely had to mention that. Like when he's doing it's just
Oh
like
yeah,
fighting.
and he's fighting Hugo Weaving, which was
Yeah,
amazing casting.
yeah. No, Neo becoming the one, and then he like does the flex thing, and it like
Hmm.
expands
Oh,
the
and
whole.
yeah, and it bends the
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
It's
No,
so
that's the shit.
good.
It's the shit.
It's
It's the
so
shit.
good.
Sorry. Continue what you were saying about the architect. I
Yeah,
just wanted to make sure that I was
yeah.
clear about that.
I could talk about like this entire series for hours, but and he's talking to the architect, and it's just Neo trying to understand and try to change the outcome of what is a very heavily uh situation that the odds aren't in his favor to something else, to
Mhm.
where he destroys the Matrix and basically saves Zion. Uh, and it's just an excellent conversation, probably one of the best, well-written conversations in cinema history, in my opinion.
I'm glad you felt that
Just
way because I couldn't understand a fucking thing that they were talking
no,
about until the
that's
end.
why I say it. Like I want to say I didn't understand Matrix Reloaded fully until like the past 3 or 4 times that I watched it. Just
Yeah.
because like every time before that I was like, okay, what? And then I just forget about it. And like every time I rewatch it, I understand a little bit more and a little bit more.
Mhm.
Um,
I,
and
I like, Matrix Reloaded, the last good Matrix movie. Um,
really?
yeah. Uh, I
Wow.
think that the Zion stuff, like the shots, they have like that wide shot and there's all the people there and it kind of pans through the city
Yeah.
and like looks down. I thought that shot was excellent, very Lord of the Rings as
Hmm.
it looked like the mines of Moria and or the Mordor. Um, Neo and Trinity, just
Do
not
you don't
there for
like
me,
their
bro.
so
There's
did
no chemistry between it. And then there's like this 8-minute sex scene with them in Reloaded, and
oh
I'm like,
you talking about the entire
so
cave orgy?
long. Like there's just people dancing and grinding on each other, and it's like 20 minutes. It's literally 5 minutes of screen time. And I
I
was like,
mean, look
why?
at the
We understand.
look at the entire Matrix franchise. It's leather with
I get
EDM
it. I
music.
understand. But like
Like it's the entire like Wachowski thing.
I get it. It's the grunge. It's like that's the whole point, and I understand. But it was like it's so gratuitous. I was like, we don't need it. We get it. They're having sex, and everybody is naked. Like I get it. I understand. I don't need it, and I don't like them together really. So
So, do
I
you not
just
like them together, or do you not like the casting of
I
Trinity?
no, it's not. It's not. Let me be clear. It's not anything to do with the casting. I just think they have zero chemistry, and I don't think it's written well. I don't think the romance is written well. The romance in the first movie is only there because they say it's there, not because they show you that they're actually interested in each other. And I feel like it's the exact same thing in this one. They're like they put stuff in the script. It just feels so forced. Like it feels so forced, and I just in no regard have I ever bought into the relationship, unfortunately, because that's what the rest of the films are about. And in this one, it really bothered me. Okay, let me get the stuff I liked about it.
I mean, the entire Matrix Reloaded plot is getting to the
Save
point of
Trinity.
where Kennedy, or
Yeah,
yeah, where
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Trinity
yeah, yeah, yeah.
dies.
Yeah, and let me get to the stuff I like. The action scene with the hundreds of thousands of
So
Mr.
I,
Smiths
I
or
I'm
Agent
glad
Smiths.
I'm glad you brought
This
that
shit's
up.
fucking awesome. Okay, and it does look a little PS2-y at sometimes, but it still
So
holds up. Like the action is still very
yeah,
engaging and very fun.
with that scene, two things with that scene. I want to start at the beginning of it.
Mhm.
The for the Oracle, right? So
Mhm.
the actress that played her was a very well known Broadway actress. She like her highlight of the like of her life was back in her heyday. This was like the later portion, and she died after the
Reloaded.
well, the Oracle, the actress that played the Oracle, died in post production of
Okay.
Matrix Reloaded.
Okay, thank you
Uh,
God, because I was like, I was trying to figure out. I was like, because she's not in the third one. It's a
no, no,
different
no, no.
actress.
They had to recast her,
And I was
and
wondering. I was like, okay, was this on purpose or was this like
yeah,
because
no,
they
she
they did
died.
a good job of making it seem like it was on
Yeah,
purpose.
and the that's I mean she was old she wasn't moving so well, and that's why the only scene with her was while she was sitting on the bench was because she couldn't really move that well.
It was okay
Uh,
scene. It was an okay
yeah, no,
scene.
yeah, and then they had to sadly recast her
Mhm.
with the new Oracle. But the second part is with that scene, the way that the Wachowskis wanted to originally have that scene was to have hundreds of Hugo Weaving doubles like come in that scene. And you can definitely tell when there's a point of where, okay, it's not doubles, it's CGI. The entire
Yeah.
thing is just CGI.
You can tell, but
Yeah,
I think it's good enough to like make it fun.
yeah. And
Yeah.
when they were shooting that film at the beginning of it, they thought, okay, it can be done. But then once they actually got into the filming of it and the choreography and everything, they were like, there's no way this can happen. And so they just had to switch it, like
CG.
while they were shooting it to CGI.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh,
Um,
but yeah, no, that's a great fight scene. That like
no,
the
it
entire
is it's a lot of fun.
yeah, it
Um,
is.
I also enjoy the the okay, the action's fun in this movie, but it also I have another problem with it. I give this movie a 7, like
Okay.
solid 7. I like the movie, but I have some serious issues. Um, and that might go down because of like Revolutions and 4. But I don't think it will because the movie's still a good time. I like a lot of the Zion stuff.
Hmm.
Like at first I was like, oh, I can't wait to see Zion after watching the first movie, but then after after getting into it, I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this. And then once they started getting like actually into it, I was like,
Hmm.
okay, I kind of like it. It's very Star Trek.
Oh, it's like it takes you a minute to get into it, but once you do,
With
you're
the
like, this is
general and
good.
stuff, you're like, oh, this is like super. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like the
yeah.
council and everything. It's very, very Star Trek. And I was like, okay, we'll see. And then I did end up enjoying it. The whole like the banner between the general and Morpheus and the
Hmm.
girl. What's the girl's name? She's in the
Uh,
Resurrections.
it's
Uh,
gonna bug me.
uh,
Give me a second with my loud keyboard.
um, Niobe.
No, Niobe.
Yeah. She's cool. I like her. Um, the whole TVC room is confusing as fuck, and I hate it, Kirby.
Why?
I hate it. I hate it. It's my least favorite part of the movie where he instead of saving everybody, he chooses to go and save Trinity. It was the dumbest shit I've ever seen put to TV, and I was just sitting there thinking like, I was like, why is he doing this? Okay, so the answer is clear. He has no choice. He has to go and save the world rather than saving Trinity, because that's what heroes do. But he goes and saves her, and I was like,
Yeah.
why is he doing this? The romance is not nearly strong enough for him to make that choice. I'm sorry. I cannot see him making that choice in a million years, and I thought it was so absurd and ridiculous. Also, Kirby,
Hmm.
Neo is the one.
He
Okay?
is the one.
I'm
He is the
sick of
one.
everybody acting like he's not in these movies. Okay?
I mean, they have to because I mean,
No,
like
they do
they
not have to. He is the one. So why is he even entertaining the idea of fighting these dudes in this hallway?
because
Like,
he still questions himself if he is the one.
but either way, he obliterated Agent Smith. So I'm just sitting there watching him actually go hand to hand. And I'm like, why is he even entertaining this? Just fucking, like, you know what I'm saying? Just like absorb their ass and like, it's so frustrating.
Because
His power scaling is terrible. Like at first he can like obliterate Agent Smith, and I think the duality thing that they do with Agent Smith, where he like comes back and he's like
hmm
the main bad guy or whatever. Fine, that's fine. I because Neo absorbed him or whatever, and it's fine, whatever. That was at first I was like, this is bullshit, just obliterate him. But then I was like, okay, I see what they're doing. That's fine. But when it's just these regular scrubs and he's even entertaining the idea of fighting them, I just can't help but question like, why is this going on? However, the part where he flies in the truck is
it's
like in
so
slow
good.
motion. It's pretty cool.
It's
It's pretty
that's
cool.
that's a badass scene.
Yeah. I will
Uh,
admit though, you are right. If you turn away for 3 seconds,
oh yeah, you're lost.
you're completely lost. And I was
Yeah
trying to
the
understand the Frenchman thing. Is he a program or is he?
yeah he is a program. The
So
and
he's
like I
not
said,
real.
like I'm still learning more stuff about the Matrix, and I'm not exactly sure what the Frenchman's role is, but it is he's kind of, from what I understand, kind of like the architect, kind of one of those ancient programs that have been around forever, and he more or less helps run the Matrix along, right?
Yeah.
And
So
same thing with that like train guy, like the train hobo.
And
Uh,
it's the ghost things are kind of weird. I will be honest.
they're just henchmen, from what I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, yeah. But how? Like, how are they doing everything that they're doing?
How can Neo fly?
He's the one. That's what I'm saying. That's my problem. Is like he should be the only one with powers.
All
Because
right,
he's the one.
all right, then how can Morpheus jump from rooftop to rooftop?
But that was in a simulation. That wasn't in the actual
No,
Matrix. No, yes, that was in
they
a
can do that.
simulation.
They can do that in the Matrix.
No, bro, they
Yeah,
didn't. They just
uh,
did it in the little box area.
no, at the beginning of the first Matrix, Trinity
Oh, you know
literally
what? You're right.
jumps.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
So how can
You're
they
right.
do that shit?
But the phasing stuff doesn't make any sense to me. Because okay, so Morpheus
It's just
explains
part
it
of the
though.
Matrix.
He's like, we are bound by the laws in this universe. So that makes sense. But if phasing through shit is not something in this universe, do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, you don't know that. You don't know that in the
Come on,
Matrix.
Kirby. Come on.
It's part of the
I couldn't
Matrix.
understand it. And maybe I can't understand it because they didn't explain it. Like or they did, but it was like cryptic as fuck. So maybe that's why, but I yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But go ahead, say your piece about Reloaded.
Yeah, and the and the like the train hobo, right? Like he's another one of the ancient
Oh,
programs that
yeah, the one
uh
that like the simulation in between the Matrix and the
yeah,
real
yeah,
world.
yeah, he's basically a ferryman.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Uh and same thing with the Keymaster. He's
I like the Keymaster.
yeah,
That was
he's
cool.
good. He's the guy with the shortcuts between everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh
Yeah,
and
it looks
that
like that was what inspired kind of the new technology in the new one, where they're like entering the doors and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Reloaded, pretty damn good. Not pretty damn good, just good, decent flick. Um, some questions, some problems. The power scaling of Neo being one of them. Um, but yeah, I like it. And at first I would, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, go. What do you think of Revolutions?
Well, you mean Resurrections?
No, Revolutions. Matrix 3.
Oh, fuck. My
Yeah,
bad.
jumping ahead. You're jumping too
Yeah, no,
far ahead.
it's been a day.
Mhm.
Revolutions. It's my favorite Matrix movie.
It's your favorite
It's
one.
my favorite one.
No, Kirby, you're
It's
joking.
my favorite
I
one.
hate this movie.
It's my
It's my
favorite
least
one.
favorite film. Are you kidding me? It's your
It's my
favorite
favorite one.
one?
It's my favorite
Oh
one.
no. Okay, this is gonna be interesting then. Okay,
All
go
right.
ahead. Go
So
ahead.
the sole reason it's or one of the biggest reasons why it's my favorite one.
You can't
It
tell me this is better than the first one. You can't tell me you genuinely think that. I, I hate you. I hate you, Kirby.
because it's the
Um,
finale. It's the big part
but
where
it's
everything
not.
comes
It's so
together.
fucking lame. Oh, go
No,
ahead.
it's not.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because I mean, it's bringing the characters from like the original Matrix and Reloaded, and like in it's the end all be all finale of what they were building up to, and it's amazing. Like the entire because the entire movie is the finale from beginning. It picks up immediately after Reloaded, whenever Trinity and Neo are in the Morpheus' ship going to the Machine City while Morpheus and everyone else are coming back to Zion. And it picks off right where it left off. And I want to go back to Reloaded real
And
quick
you know what? I
because
guess wait before you. I guess that's kind of one of my problems because it feels like Battle of the Five Armies, where it's not like how Return of the King is its own movie.
Mhm.
This feels like Battle of the Five Armies, like where it's like not its own movie. Like you
Oh,
have to watch the first two before you relatively understand
no,
this
it's
one.
not.
And it's not.
Because
Kirby.
they explain it real well if you just watch Revolutions. All right, are okay. Not exactly
Yeah.
sure why these two are off in the ship. Okay, but they're going to this machine city while these others are trying to go back to this home
Yeah.
base.
Okay, fine. You're right. You're right. It is kind of its own movie, but I will say, what you're going back to Reloaded too, so I'm gonna
Yes,
say it.
because
Z and Link are just not interesting. Like I couldn't care less.
yeah, no, no. To be honest, like it's not a bad thing, but probably a thing that could improve on the Matrix is like the side characters.
Yeah, it's like they're there to die. Or you know what I'm saying?
That or there's no or you've got to watch it several times to like understand who they are.
Or you know what? I'm kind of bummed because what's his name? Tank from the
Yeah,
first one, the guy who was
yeah,
on the
Tank.
computer and he got shot, but he lived.
Hmm. He
Where
never
the
came back.
fuck is he?
I think I remember there was a story about
Because he
why
was
he wasn't.
so cool. Like I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this guy's actually really cool. I like this guy a lot. And then they replaced him with Z and Link, and I was like,
Yeah, I want to say there's a story behind him. Let me look it up while we're talking
he's
about it.
die or something. He's an addict.
No, 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 it wasn't anything like that. But it was what was it? What was it?
Ding ding ding
Or is it
ding.
someone else I'm thinking of?
There might be someone else.
Wow, he's a lot older than I thought. He was born in 1967.
God damn.
Yeah, he's
I guess
he's
that makes
up there.
sense. He looked 30 when the movie came out.
Nah, I thought he was like 20. Yeah, no, I'm thinking of someone else. I don't know who I'm thinking of. But anyways, so like Matrix Reloaded has one of the biggest cliffhangers like
Oh, it is
of
cool.
cinema
Yeah, that's
history.
what I'm saying. Like, it's a
Especially
solid ending.
especially back in 2000 2001 when Matrix Reloaded came out.
I think it was 2004.
No.
Yeah,
Was it?
yeah, yeah. They both came out in this. Oh, 2003. They both came out in the same
Okay.
year.
Oh yeah, because there was a gap and then they filmed back to back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh but yeah, it leaves it at the biggest cliffhanger to be concluded, and like back then, back in 2003, there weren't movies that did that, right? There weren't movies that all right, it's a one
I
and
could
done type
not
thing.
disagree with you more.
What are you talking about?
Kirby Fellowship of the Ring came out in 2001.
Yes, but we knew, okay, hey, there's three of them. Like, they advertised when the Fellowship came out, hey, all right, there's going to be three of them.
There's a trailer for Matrix Revolutions at the end of this film.
Is there?
Yes.
I don't remember that. I honestly don't
Skip
remember
past
that.
the credits, and there's a trailer for Revolutions like right
I
after.
honestly don't. All right, I
It
might be
came out
wrong.
like 5 months later.
I might be wrong in this entire thing,
Yeah,
but
I
I
think
don't
you're
remember
so
that.
wrong.
I honestly don't remember that.
What do you think of Revolutions, Goober?
Yeah, favorite Matrix movie. I
Why?
fu- dude,
Explain.
watching this movie as a kid,
That's why. That's why. That's why.
the only
Okay.
thing I ever fucking wanted, and I'm pretty sure you already know what it is. What it is. I just wanted to like drive one of those fucking mecha suits, with the arms and everything and the gun. It looks so
I thought you were gonna
cool.
say fight in the rain, bro. Like
No,
the mecha suits,
the
really?
mecha suits, man. They're so cool with the guns and the entire sacrifice of what's his name? General Z or something like that. I can't remember his name. But they're
Who?
so cool.
Who?
The
Who
the sacrifice of the Asian man.
cares, bro? Who cares?
Oh, get out of here. Get out of here. Dude,
I
it's
just like, come on, man. Okay, continue. Why is it your favorite? Go ahead.
and the fight scene in the rain was really cool. Are you saying it's not?
Yes, I'm saying it's not.
Why?
I'm saying, okay, I finished Reloaded and then I skipped to the end and I was like, oh, there's a trailer for the next one because it came out the same year. And I'm watching it and the trailer was so much cooler than the actual fight. So
Why?
disappointed.
How are you? All right.
Because,
Why is this your least favorite?
well, okay, let's get into this. So the Z and brother storyline is ass. It's not exciting. So like it's the cheesiest one. It's by far and away the cheesiest one. Like there's dudes shooting shotguns like going ah! Like yelling into the camera and just like firing their guns from there. It's so fucking cheesy. You like the dude is there's one part where Agent Smith is like becomes a person, right?
Yeah.
And it's played by a different actor, but the dude is doing a terrible Hugo Weaving like mimic. He's like trying to copy the way Hugo Weaving talks in the movies, and it's so fucking corny,
What
bro.
are you talking about?
What do you mean?
That's an excellent double.
It's fine. It's a decent impression, but it's terrible. Like it's
No,
such garbage.
no, it's not, dude. Every time I watch it, I'm like, okay, they just like split the screen, and it was just Hugo Weaving on the other side. He like acted out both scenes.
No, oh my god. And then there's this fucking Trinity and Neo focused relationship, and which is fine. It's whatever. It's been whatever in all the rest of the movies. And then she gets fucking killed, which I laughed. I
Are
genuinely
you
thought it was
serious?
so funny. She got impaled, and I was like, I was just sitting there laughing. Like there was no, because I'm not attached to her, because I've never thought that it was her.
Jesus
Like
Christ,
it was
dude.
very interesting. Like their romance just never worked for me. But then I just sat there and thought about how he saves her ass at the end of Reloaded for no fucking reason, and he should have just saved everybody in the Matrix. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, why? Why on earth would he waste his time doing this? Oh, it was so frustrating, Kirby. And the one-liners, they have one-liners in this movie, and they're terrible, Kirby.
How?
Like they're just
What
terrible. They're the
one-liners?
cheesiest, most expected one-liners, like the one with Morpheus and Niobe, where it's like, I can't remember what they say. It's so fucking cheesy though. One second. I'm sorry. I don't mean to shit on your movie. I know you like it, but I cannot stand this movie. I remember when you used to dance. This is it. Oh my god, I hate this line. There are some things in this world that will never change. Some things do change. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. That line's terrible. And when they say it back to each other, it's god awful. It's written by a 3-year-old. I was like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. The fight in the rain.
Badass.
There are some cool parts. There are some
What's
cool
wrong
parts
with it?
to the fight in the rain. I like the fight in the rain. Um, the fight in the rain has cool parts. It's just it's not as cool as the trailer made it out to be, and maybe that's my fault for having that expectation. But the trailer made it look so much cooler than it was going to be. Like I was just sitting there, I was like, "Oh my god, I cannot wait till they fight the rain!" And then they fucking job Neo. They keep jobbing Neo. It's so annoying.
How?
Neo is the one. He is the one in stop. That should be it. He should
Yeah,
not.
yeah, but Agent Smith literally has the entire power of the Matrix behind him.
But Neo is the Matrix, Kirby. It doesn't
Neo
matter.
is not the Matrix.
It doesn't matter. He's the one. He's the one, bro. And the shit that he's actually, you know what I will say though? The shit where he's blind and like he sees like gold
Yeah.
and stuff. That's actually pretty cool. Cause like he, and I like that he's the one in and outside of the machines, right? But they just keep jobbing him. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of him actually fighting people.
So are you tired of like in Harry Potter? Okay, why doesn't Harry just do this and this and this if he's the one?
No, because Harry is a different level of chosen one. We've seen what Neo can do in the first one. Oh, also, you know what I kind of miss that they haven't brought back for some reason? They brought it back a little bit in Resurrections. When they're moving really fast and it like phases because they're moving so quick.
That was there in the like 2 and
It's
Reloaded.
it's not a Reloaded. Because I was waiting for it to happen. I was like, oh, I can't wait to see Neo do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, move as fast as hell and, like, block everybody. He never does it. In fact, he actually gets hit in that fight, which is such bullshit. Neo's power scaling in these movies is terrible. But that fight is fun. Like, I like when they punch.
I just feel like it's not what you want it to be.
It's not what it's already established itself to be. Does that make sense? Like I wouldn't want it to be that if they didn't already do it in the first one. But the Agent Smith is the only one that I give an exception to, because he's like the counter to Neo, right?
Yes.
Like he's like the negative Neo. So like when he's fighting Agent Smith, I'm like, okay, that's fine. Even though I wish they still did the speed thing, but they don't. But I like when they hit in the rain and like the rain like separates. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
That shit's pretty cool. But overall, like 4 out of 10. I don't like the movie, and I think that the ending is fucking terrible
How?
because peace. What? I cannot believe this. They leave millions of humans trapped in the machines, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, it's cool."
No,
Fuck
that
you.
no.
Fuck
They said
you.
no. They said they will release the ones that wake up, that want to get out and wake up. But for the ones that don't, they'll leave them in.
But fuck that, Kirby. Fuck
Why?
that. Because who
You know what the humans are doing, right?
can you imagine at the end of Endgame, Iron Man and Thanos just shook hands, and we're like, okay, you kill the planets that want to be killed.
That's not the same thing.
That is exactly the same thing. It's
No,
fucking bullshit. Free everybody, like you said you
no,
were going
because some
to.
people have relied on the Matrix so much that they need it to survive, and that without it they would die, type thing.
That's just not true. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, they literally say it's
How would they die if they were removed from the Matrix? They're
because
picking people out.
their mind is so hooked on the Matrix, and they're so plugged in that if they get taken out, they'll go fucking nuts. They literally talk about
They've
it.
got you spouting their bullshit. It's not good. No, I'm saying that reason is not good. The movie, it's
Oh, so
subjective.
the reason they give isn't a reason that you validate that
Yes,
is okay with you.
yes, exactly,
Hey,
exactly.
you just need to stop being a catty bitch,
It's just
okay?
not. It's just not. I don't know. It doesn't bother you that Trinity dies in this movie.
Yeah, it's sad.
No, not like that. Like bothers you that she was saved and reloaded just to die.
No, because she had
Plus,
to live then to die then.
plus, I hate that this movie doesn't focus on the one. Like for a good 30 minutes, it's focused completely on the fight at Zion.
Yeah, because the Matrix isn't just about Neo, it's about the Matrix.
But that has nothing to do with the Matrix. That has everything to do with Zion.
Yes, because the machines are part of the Matrix.
Whatever. Well, I think we just disagree on where, like, how it ended, Kirby. But I'm glad.
I feel like you just don't understand the Matrix.
I understand it just fine, and that's whatever. If that's what you want to say to make you feel more validated, that's fine. But Neo's a jobber in this universe, and I'm sick of them treating him like one because he's not. He's the one. Even you agree that he's the one. So there should be no competition besides Agent Smith. Whatever. Whatever. And I can't believe Trinity died. That was such.
You need to
Neo
get
had
better.
every opportunity to save everybody in the world, and he chose Trinity. Like, kill me, Kirby. Whatever. Are you ready to move on to the new one?
I'm ready for you to stop having a shitty opinion.
Are you ready? Are you ready? We've been talking about the first three for 40 minutes. Are you ready?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, let's get
on with
into it.
this.
All right, let's talk about the Matrix Resurrections. We're going to do a full story breakdown. You guys know how it goes. We're going to go through the story point by point. We'll touch on the things that need to be talked about. The movie opens up with this program, right, that Bugs is in, and then she kind of realizes that Agent Smith, who is also Morpheus, like they have this whole conversation. I was very confused, actually, by the opening. Were you?
No,
Okay, can you explain it?
because sorry, hold on. My dog. Hold on. Watch it.
I see.
Listen. She like jumped on my lap and unplugged my headphones. Okay. So like you can cut that. Oh, you're
Yeah.
fine.
I'm not cutting that. I'm gonna leave it in. I'm gonna add a little Jeopardy tune for you. I'm gonna keep
I
it
know
going.
you would.
We're gonna keep it going through the track here.
I know you would. All right. Go. Oh wait, you're fine. You're fine. Okay. So
Yeah.
no, because with it, because I've talked to several people about this. movie, and I've understand it better now than I did whenever right after I watched it. Uh, so the Matrix has changed, right? It's completely changed from
It's
what
a
it
new
was.
Matrix, yeah.
Yeah. It's been completely rewritten, and there's nothing. There's more or less nothing left of the old Matrix, right?
And she notices the old code.
Yes,
Yeah, and
and,
that's
and
what she
so and
goes to.
so so she goes and checks it out, and then she realizes, holy shit, hey, that's Trinity. This has happened before.
Hmm.
Why is this happening? So she follows it along, uh, and then she notices the agents, uh, and let me just say this one thing to where it's not confusing as much. The Morpheus in this film, right?
He's not.
He
He's in
he
program.
he Yes, but he is a mix between like the original Morpheus
And Agent Smith.
and yes, and Agent Smith. So it's like a cross combination
The
between the two.
original Agent Smith, not the one
Yes.
that is the negative Neo, because the negative Neo is his boss, right? It's Jonathan Groff.
Ish.
What do you mean ish? That's
All
what
right,
it is.
all right, hold on.
Because
Let's
they're
talk
like
about
Agent Smith. They say that. They're like, oh, you're
no.
Agent Smith.
So the Jonathan Groff, he is a mix between Agent Smith and Neo.
Which is what originally was
No,
Agent Smith anyway.
no,
And
because
reloaded
that
in 3.
no, that was just Agent Smith. That wasn't part of Neo.
I disagree, but that might be up for interpretation.
That,
Because
that
because he's definitely the negative Neo, because he has the same memories and shit from Resurrections and Reloaded.
because the Jonathan Groff, he is Agent Smith, and he's got the memories of him being Agent Smith, and then him being memories of Neo. Because at the end of Revolutions, Smith
Neo
absorbs
absorbs him.
Neo. Yeah, well, Smith absorbs Neo, and then Neo just like destroys them.
It's flimsy. Yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. It's like it's kind of up, like semi up in the air.
No,
I think it is, because I disagree with you.
okay, well, you're wrong.
Okay.
Anyways,
What do you think about the opening scene though, with the doors and stuff like that, with
yeah,
bugs?
no, that was very. I was not expecting that at all because walking into this because this is 20 years since the original Matrixes that came out, and I was more or less I didn't know what to expect with this movie. Like even the trailers were vague about it, right? Like you just know, okay, hey, Neo's back and he's in the Matrix, and that's all you get more or less.
And Trinity's there somehow.
Yeah, somehow, and you don't know what's going on or anything. And I I wasn't I was confused, but about it. But like going back thinking about it, talking about it with other people who have seen it, it helps explain the movie, right?
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, no, I liked the
Oh, did
hallway
you like it?
scene.
Let's start off with did you like it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I
Okay.
liked it. I mean, whenever I originally watched it, I said I loved it and I hated it, right? Because I
Yeah.
loved it because it's a new Matrix, and I hated it for certain things that I mean I've
We'll get to.
overcome. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, no,
Okay. But
I
you like
love.
the opening scene
Yeah,
nonetheless?
I like the opening scene. I like the twist of like Smith Morpheus coming out and realizing, oh hey, he's a program, he's an agent, he's also Morpheus. He's a real human being.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's not part of the Matrix type thing. And then I
Hmm.
like the use of the back doors that they had was really cool, and the angle and the camera flips and everything where they were falling into the doorway and falling back out and jumping through it and different things. I that was really cool, and it was a good opening scene. And what was the next part?
Yeah. And then I thought the opening scene was okay. Well, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't crazy or anything. The action was cool, and I think I like the trippy how the doors work. Like it's kind of like Monsters Incorporated, where you fall
Yeah.
through, and then like the whole perspective like changes.
Hmm.
So I mean that was cool, and then I like feeling confused in the beginning of things. Um,
Yeah.
then we get to Thomas Anderson, and he's a successful game developer, and we kind of realize, oh, maybe The Matrix this whole time has been a video game series.
Yeah,
Um,
it again, the Matrix mind fucks you on it.
which I'm going to be completely honest.
Uh-huh.
I thought the idea of the like all three Matrix films being a video game
Uh-huh.
was the greatest thing ever because it means that none of the other that revolutions never happened theoretically.
No, it did happen. It did
It's just a
happen.
video game. I like the idea of that. Like I can just be like, okay, well, none
It
of
did,
it matters because it was just a video game. But I also really enjoy the idea that this all might just be in this crazy motherfucker's head, like all of it. Like I really like that idea
yeah, no, yeah, it because
because
that kind of makes you think of like real life type thing because
it's like Total Recall, where you like were at the end, you're like, okay, did all of that actually happen, or
yeah,
was he just in the chair? You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So I really like like that was one of the things that I really enjoyed. I was just sitting there thinking, oh, maybe this is all just this crazy motherfucker going batshit. Um, and then they do the flash forward or whatever, and he sees Trinity. And did you like the? I'm sorry. Did you like the video game thing too?
Yeah, no, I loved it. I thought that was a great thing because it took me a second to like understand it, but once you did, you're like, oh shit, that's a they say okay, yeah, it's happened, but it's a video game. It didn't actually happen, but it happened.
Yeah,
And
yeah, 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 yeah.
eh,
And then we see that he's taking the blue pills.
yep.
And we kind of get like glimpses of him like in the reflection of the table looking old, or like there's the scene where he's looking in the mirror and he's looking old. What did you
That
think was
was
going on? Yeah.
that was really well done. And the first time I noticed it, and I don't know if it was the first time in the film, but it was when he was in his bathroom and he like closes his mirror door, and it's like half a second. It
I
doesn't
know, that's what I felt too. I was like,
it doesn't stop on it. It doesn't like recognize it. It doesn't like hold on it. It just happens, and if you miss it, you didn't know it happened.
yeah.
But like I saw it, and I was like, wait, what the fuck was that? And it makes you think, did that actually happen, or did I just see something?
And then they keep doing it too, like where
Yeah.
Trinity's sitting down at the table and then like you can see. That's what makes me think it's probably not a like crazy person, because
Mhm.
that wasn't even from his perspective. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like that's what the part of me that's like, okay, it probably actually happened.
Hmm.
But like the part where it reflects and you can see Trinity's not Trinity, or Tiffany as they call her.
God,
Um,
that was. Come on, come
it's
on.
okay. It's okay. Um,
They should have just completely changed it and not. Oh yeah, Trinity, Tiffany.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Then we get the information that he's going to be he's having trouble separating
Yeah, yeah. Real life
his
from.
from what he thinks is the fake or whatever.
Yeah.
And he finds out that they're going to make another Matrix game.
Mhm.
Um, and then they start doing these group scenes where they're doing another Kirby. The dialogue about making Matrix 4, like, but as a video
That
game.
was that is one thing that I did not like
It's the
about
cringiest fucking dialogue I've ever heard. Like I understand, I
like
get it.
the biggest thing with me that got me with that was the fact that they name dropped Warner
Warner
Brothers.
Brothers. It immediately took me out of the movie. Like
Yeah,
all I could think was like, well, our partner Warner Brothers. I was like, ah, and then it's like so on the nose. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh,
No,
we have to make another Matrix game, and I was like, oh,
like I that bit was too meta.
it
Like
was
like there
terrible. I'm
like
sorry.
the most of the film, like 99% of the film, that's the 1% that uh did it bad. But 99% of the film, it's kind of meta, right? Because you're like think I mean, you're just thinking about okay, hey, yeah, okay, this is like the fourth Matrix, and then they were trying to make a new one or whatever, and it did it well. But then they had that one scene, and you're like, okay, that they went too far.
And I really thought that was too far, and I was like, this is terrible, in my opinion, of course. it just really was not for me at all.
Hmm.
And I just was sitting there thinking, this is so bad. I was like worried for the rest of the movie. I was like, are we gonna go back to that? Because it was so bad. And then that's what the post credit scene is, but we'll talk about that later. Because I was like, oh my god, but whatever. Anyway, he's taking these blue pills.
Yeah.
Um, and while he's playing the game, he goes to the analyst's house, or Neil Patrick Harris, who actually does an
That.
excellent job in this movie.
Yeah. No. So I want to say
And this is the
that
trippiest shit.
I want to say the Matrix Resurrections has the some of the best trailers. Like post watching the movie has some of the best trailers for marketing. Okay, because
Oh,
when
because
they
you think it's
when
something different than it is, yeah.
well, yeah, because the entire time because you get Jonathan Groff going, okay, oh hey, yeah, back to the Matrix, and
Yeah.
you can just see like the Mr. Smith in him, right? And you're like, okay, he's the bad guy, right?
Yeah, Jonathan Groff does a good job, I think.
Yeah, no, he did good too, but then the entire time, Groff ate shit compared to Neil Patrick Harris, right?
Yeah.
Like NPH did an amazing job.
I thought you know what else I thought the bathroom scene was kind of stiff. Like there was something, it just didn't quite feel right between
Okay,
Neo and Morpheus.
okay. Then there's two ways you can look at it. Okay, one way is okay, Keanu Reeves just didn't do a decent job at his acting at that point,
Maybe.
or you can look at it of the way, okay, hey, Thomas Anderson's losing his fucking mind, and it's just because of how much he's losing his mind, he's not reacting well to the situation. So it's just that's how he acted in the situation. You get what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't necessarily know if it came off that way. To me, it just felt a little wooden. I don't like, and I don't mean that as an insult or whatever. But it just didn't. I don't know. But I do like the ensuing scene where he gets shot in the head and then he like wakes up in the
Yeah, no, I like that. Like that also was
Thomas. What are you
that
doing here?
yeah, that
Yeah,
was also kind of like a mind fuck kind of.
yeah,
So and it makes you think, how many times have they done this to him? You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
to where he's figured something out and they just had to reset him more or less, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So then more. So let me get this straight. Morpheus, the simulation that Neo's been running in the Matrix as old code, gets found, and then he's the way that they find Neo.
yes.
Yeah, because that's why he was running it, so eventually he could be found. Because he was doing it subconsciously.
Mhm.
Okay, so they get Neo, right, and then we walk into the theater area, kind of where Morpheus is, and then this is where the mirror scene happens with Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
Dude, this is really good. Like I really like this scene where he's like, Thomas,
Mhm.
you're having a serious episode right now, and you
So
need to wake
good.
up. He's like, I couldn't help but think, oh my god, this is really cool if this dude's
You
just fucking
you can't
crazy.
help but imagine yourself in the situation and think of how the fuck would you feel or think you would feel if that like happened to you? You know, like if you're standing there and you see like, okay, hey, you're programmed to trust this guy, but you don't know and instinctively want to trust this guy, and you're just you're mind fucked. You know,
Yeah, no,
you're
and you can't tell. You really can't tell because once he
no,
takes the red pill, it's like, is he just off his meds, or is he like,
yeah.
is this any of this actually happening? And I like that. You know, where it keeps cutting the scenes from the old movies.
Hmm.
Honestly, I could have done without that.
Really?
Yeah, it just wasn't. I don't
You
know. It
didn't
was
like it?
just. It's just kind of like, okay, yeah, we know, we saw him. Like we remember the old Matrix films.
Well,
I don't.
I will say it did help for like say people that didn't rewatch
Hmm.
the original
That's
three
true.
and went to go went to go watch it. It does help with the pacing of the movie in that way.
But I thought the characters. That's what I'm saying. But like, I thought the characters explained it enough for us to not see the flashback. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like the dialogue they had already explained the scenes that they were showing. So I was like, okay, well, I think that's a little much. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, so then he wakes up in the pod once he takes it, and we kind of see Trinity there. And they recover him. He's taken to what's it called?
Oh, the new city.
Mnemosyne, something like
I don't remember.
Me,
I do not remember.
Minnow, something like that.
Zion,
Minnocin or
take
something like
two.
that. Yeah. Anyway, and then it's been, which was crazy to me, it's been 60 years instead of 20,
That was yeah.
which I guess explains why Morpheus isn't there.
God, yeah. Like when they said 60 years, I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I thought there might be a chance that we see him.
Yeah, dude. I was hoping Martin Lawrence was gonna Martin Lawrence, Lawrence Fishburne. I do that every time. I do that every time. Martin
Martin
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Could you
Fuck me,
imagine
man.
Martin Lawrence as Morpheus?
I'm Morpheus. Oh, fuck me.
God.
That'd be crazy.
I kind of want that to happen
The
now.
spin-off, the spin-off
I,
shit sitcom show Morpheus.
I need a Martin Lawrence Morpheus.
Oh fuck. Okay. Anyways, so
Okay, yeah,
Morpheus is dead.
yeah,
Niobe's is still alive somehow,
somehow.
and they explained that there was a new war.
Yeah. It was
So fuck your piece, Kirby, from the last movie. Fuck you and fuck that.
So would you rather have everyone
Free.
died and two people be left and
Yes.
it's just
How
a
about in the
complete
third
disaster?
Matrix film, you free all the humans? How about that? And that way there won't be another war. All the machines are dead. How about that? Whatever. Whatever. We're not talking about revolutions. We're not talking about revolutions. We're talking about this one. There was another machine war. How did you feel about this?
I liked it. I liked it.
Did you like the
And
new planet?
the new
Or the new
planet?
city? Sorry.
Yes. Yes, I did like the new city. And I can't remember. Niobe did a excellent job of narrating what's happened in the past 60 years, right? Like Zion,
Good
like
exposition done.
yeah, like Zion Part Two is just it's another city. Like Zion is still there, but like that's just a sub branch of Zion because they
It's a new
incorporated
city
the,
entirely, yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
its own.
they like brought in, they paired with the machines more or less. Like the
Mhm.
machines are part of them, and the part of them is part of the machines.
Yeah. You know what I will
Uh,
say? Niobe, I felt she was a little too bitter.
she's old.
I know, I just didn't quite feel like I was like, okay, this just seems weird. Like how
He
she felt about Neo, I was just like, this is odd. Because at what point in revolutions where the machines stop fighting you, do you not sit down and go, oh, okay, so Neo was the one? Like, I don't know, like, I don't know why nobody believes that he's the one. It's so infuriating because like everything he said is going to happen has happened. You get me? And so why does she not like? Why isn't she like, oh yeah, you did save us, the machine, like the machines, like there was peace for a long time. You were the one. You did do that. You know what I'm
she's
saying?
she's
It's like
seen
if
some shit,
Anakin
dude.
destroyed the Emperor, and then 30 years later they were like, well, no, I don't actually know if Anakin was the chosen one. Like nobody thinks that Anakin was the chosen one. You know what I'm saying?
All right, put like think of it like in like real world aspects, right? Like say something happened 30 years ago and people like full on wholeheartedly believed, okay, hey, yeah, that dude's the shit. 30 years later, you get jackasses like us that question, okay, no, like is that guy really
That's
like
fine,
the
but
shit?
that's this is also jackasses like us. You know what I'm saying? It's not someone who was there. You know what I'm saying? Like she was there. She watched it happen. She was dating Morpheus, who was like the dude to be like Neo is the one. And for some reason, she's still like, I never believed you were the one. I'm like,
I mean,
why?
60
There's no
years
evidence to
changes a
suggest she didn't.
person.
What'd you say?
60 years changes a person.
60 years changes a person. She dated Morpheus. She married him. His whole thing was the one. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why she's like, okay, and Neo's not the one. I'm like, and Neo's like, oh, I don't know if I was either. I'm like, bro, what other human can do what you do? I really don't get the whole Neo is not the one. Like, there's just no debate anymore. I don't know why everybody's questioning it. So, whatever. That was my one beef with Niobe, but I did think it was cool, like the prosthetics, like
Mm-hmm.
that they made the actress look old.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really cool, but I fucking can't stand why, like how nobody just, I don't know. I don't know. It'd be like Luke going, No, Anakin's not the one. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Whatever, whatever.
Get over your
Um,
opinions.
my I have very firm opinions about the Matrix films, clearly.
God.
Um, so then Niobe takes. Oh, how did you feel about the machines and humans working together? Like they're a
I
machine.
liked it a lot. I thought it was really cool. Like, and it's not they completely change them up too. You know, because it's new tech. I mean, obviously 60 years,
Mhm.
but
It does look a little different. It's very
it
fresh. You know what
very
I'm saying?
slender and like
Yeah.
very like less because more. I'm trying to think of a good way to say this. Uh, Less practical, more effects, if that makes sense. You know, like that they look better, they look slender, they look cleaner.
Mhm.
Which and then if you look back at the when the machines were just the machines, they made them to work exactly how they were supposed to, and they didn't care how they looked. It was just
Mhm.
they worked how they were supposed to.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I think a lot of it, but I didn't mind the whole like nanotech thing where like Morpheus can be there. But I thought it
mhm.
was weird that did her and Morpheus just not get along after the revolutions? Like, were they just not together at the end? Like, they
Maybe
must
not.
have broken up or something because she sees Morpheus and she's not like, you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
it's not Morpheus. It's a Morpheus.
I know, but even then, like Kirby, come on, like if you saw your wife that had been dead for 10 years, even in like it's like still his consciousness in a lot of ways.
Well, yeah, but it's not him. It's like a
You wouldn't be
it,
like,
it-
oh,
no.
you have no love.
Well,
Kirby, I didn't mean it like that. If I died, say I died in a terrible way, like you saw my face, and I was like,
yeah.
whatever, blood, like I put a shotgun on my mouth or something. Say I died like that, and then like 20 years later, my consciousness was uploaded to some stream, and I like formed. You wouldn't be
No,
like
not your consciousness. A
some form of my consciousness,
half your consciousness and something else.
but still, would you not give me a hug and be like, oh, not good to see you, buddy?
No, I'd be like, okay, similar traits. Still a jackass, but okay.
You're bullshitting, bro.
No, I'm
Whatever.
not.
You're gonna do me dirty like that? Whatever.
You
Uh,
do you would do this exact same thing.
anyway, so after this,
Doesn't
they
deny
explain,
it.
the machines and humans are working together. Then, Niobe says, Neo, don't go back into the Matrix, and Neo goes back into the Matrix.
Yep.
And then there's that scene with the Frenchman who is now,
That was surprising.
yeah, like the old programs are now like pieces of shit.
Yeah,
Um,
so like the old programs they're outdated, they're written out, they're supposed to be executed and gone, but they are far superiorly stronger than the new programs
yeah, if that's
because
not a movie made by a boomer, I don't know what is. But
you call you calling Lana Wachowski a boomer?
I don't know. Is she? I can't remember. Probably.
No, and so I want to say the story about Lana Wachowski. So the only reason why the Matrix Resurrections exist is because her one of her parents died, right? And she made this new Matrix as a coping mechanism to like fill her time and not be like riddled with grief. And that's why she made this movie, and
Good
that's why
Lord.
it's only Lana Wachowski and not the Wachowskis because she reached out to her sister and her sister was like, no, I don't need this, and that's why it's only Lana Wachowski that made the movie.
Can you imagine a world where you don't say, "Yeah, I'll do this"? Wow. There had to be some studio push, right, for a new Matrix film. You don't
Nope,
think so?
nope.
Hmm.
It wasn't the Wachowski said no, like we're done. We don't want to, and then
That was
someone
it.
died.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a fine movie. It's not terrible, but so then they get this fight scene where
Hmm.
Neo and Bugs and them. It's like the one on the train, and then they kind of go into this little area where Smith is, And I already said the Frenchman, which was fine, whatever. And Smith is there, and Jonathan Groff does a good job. But
Mhm.
I'm just
He does a really good Smith.
he does a good Smith,
Like
and I
like
like that it's not
the
him
the
doing an
king of
impersonation.
Hamilton himself.
Yeah,
I did not expect him to
yeah.
be in
I
this
mean,
movie.
I was. He does a good Smith, and I like that he doesn't mimic his voice like that one dude did in Revolutions because that was terrible. I like that it's
Because it's a Smith and Neo combo. It's not just Smith.
I'm bothering you so much with that. I can tell you like want to punch me in the face every time I shit on your favorite Matrix movie. Um, and then Neo once again gets jobbed. Um, he doesn't immediately obliterate everybody. He has to fight them again.
Because
How
he
did you feel
literally
about this
got
fight scene?
reconstructed back to life.
He's the one. It doesn't matter what happens to him. Whatever though. So, 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 what did you think of this fight scene?
I liked it. Well, ish. I liked it ish. Uh,
It seems like a lot of the
the
flair of the other fight scenes in the other movies has kind of, you know what I'm saying?
so I will say it's
They aren't as engaging.
a lot of the fights are literally just Neo going, ugh, ugh, ugh,
Yeah. Oh
right?
my God, he can do that, but he can't do any of the other one shit.
Uh,
Fuck
it,
this.
it, and I guess it's because of how old Neo got, but I mean, there's none of the fast like kung fu like fighting like when he was the one
Oh,
and
I know.
like the
I know. I just wanted to do that again so bad. What is it? It's so hard. Like that is one of the coolest moments in the first movie where he's just sitting there like
yeah.
with his arm behind his back and just fucking people up. It's so cool, and they won't do it again. I don't know
I
why.
mean, there was nowhere near in this movie like the fast kung fu that was in the others. You know,
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's
that
never been the same since the first one, but like even in Reloaded and Revolutions, the fights were still cool.
yeah, they were still fast paced, but you could still follow along with them and still like a lot of
A lot of
fast,
fun.
like quick kung fu like moves, right? But with this one, it's a lot of like slow punches and like
Oh, you know
getting
what? I
slammed and
totally
hit.
glossed over something. The fight scene between Morpheus and Neo.
That was good. That was good. That I
Did you
liked
like
it.
that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although they misplaced a line.
What do you mean?
So in the original Matrix, right?
Oh, he goes, I still know Kung Fu. Yeah, I
Well,
thought that was,
yeah. Like in the original one, he like stop trying to hit me and hit me, and
yeah,
then like I know kung fu, right?
yeah,
Yeah, they should have put it in that dojo scene where
yeah, I
he
agree.
like started kicking Morpheus's ass,
It
and
felt weird
then
wherever they put it. I can't remember where they put it, but I was
they
like,
put it where they were fighting. It was when you first see the Frenchman and they fight.
the one we were
Where,
talking about 2 seconds ago. Yeah.
well, where they're inside. It's not when they're going in between the train and all that, but it's when in that final setting of they're in the
The little
warehouse or
area, yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying. Like they let Agent Smith do the fast punching. You see it, you know what I'm saying? Where he's like, and I'm like, okay, well, then Neo should be able to do it.
Your problem is that you
Is that Neo
Neo
is the one.
Neo isn't as much of a god as you want him to be.
Because he is a god. They showed us that he was a god in the first movie. So I'm just like sitting here wondering, like, where did his powers go? Because they're not here. He's the Superman of the Matrix, and he should be treated as such. And they're jobbing him as if he's the like Aquaman. Like it's like I don't
Fucking shit
whatever.
on Aquaman, why don't you?
Well, I'm not shitting on Aquaman, but who's gonna win, Aquaman or Superman? It's like not even a competition. You know what I'm saying?
If he's in the ocean,
What Neo is never not Neo doesn't fight people outside of the Matrix. Whatever. Whatever. Anyway, moving forward, we both like I thought the fight scene was fine, but I still sat there thinking he's the one. Why isn't he the one? But I can't get over this, Kirby. It's really bothering me. Um they beat him. They take Neo to Tiffany's repair shop, and this is cool. When they
that was
take
a good scene.
Neo, yeah,
That
yeah,
that
yeah. Like I liked Neil Patrick Harris in this movie, and
Yeah,
as the
and
analyst.
this is isn't this where you find out, hey, this is he's the bad guy?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He like slows down what is called
Yeah,
bullet
bullet
time,
time. Yeah, they're calling it
and
bullet
he's like
time.
moving fast as hell, and Neo can't keep up.
Hmm.
Uh, which he's moving fast as hell, and they do the whole thing, whatever. But I like the exposition of them. This is where we see that Neo gets pieced back together, and so did Trinity, Tiffany. Um, and I like that. I like that. I really like this Neil Patrick Harris scene where he's like outwitting Neo. How did you feel about it?
That was a good scene because I mean that hell of a reveal, right?
Hmm.
Because he gets there and just as he's about to like tell her, but like the bullet time happens and
Hmm.
the entire just dialogue because this scene reminds me a lot of the other Matrixes, right? It's the writing that you have to pay attention to where if you lose a sentence, you're lost, and you it's just really well written, well paced, and you just see
It's
Neo
cool.
the entire time just like trying to punch him,
And I
but he's
like the
just like too
effect that they
slow.
do on Neil Patrick Harris when he's moving. Like it's kind of like a
Yeah,
haze
yeah,
thing. Yeah, yeah.
and the entire scene
Why
of
didn't you
him
say
like
anything about
like
my screen? How long has my screen been like that?
I never noticed.
Oh, okay. Me neither. Okay.
Who
Sorry about that.
cares
Go
about
ahead.
the screen?
Me.
Okay,
And nobody else.
yeah,
But good.
the five people really care.
Yeah.
But like the scene where he holds the apple and and he shoots it and he like moves the bullet as soon as it's about to hit Trinity. It's just it shows you how well of a villain NPH is.
He's good.
Yeah, and he's the new architect.
Yeah, which I liked. The analyst is what they call him.
Yeah,
So after this, then they are forced to leave her. They go back to the scene with Niobe, where she's like, "Okay, well, Neo," and then this is where what's her name comes in,
the kid.
the kid from the
Yep,
second movie, which I actually thought this was a pretty cool little
that was
callback.
cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
is it actually her? Like the
It
actress voice?
looks so much like her.
Well, you like it? Yeah. Like
Like honestly, I believed it. I was like, yeah, I've seen her in other stuff too, that actress, but I
mhm.
don't know if it was actually her or not. They say they make the deal. They're gonna kill Trinity if he doesn't come back or whatever. Then they get there. They're trying to free Trinity, which you know how I feel about this. The Neo Trinity stuff just isn't really for me. It still didn't work in this
Get
movie
out of
either.
here.
I was sitting there thinking her life is just not this important. I was like, it really just isn't. Like, you really should just save everyone and then leave her alone. But no, once again, Neo needs to do what he always does and saves her or whatever. Um, so then, Trinity does volunteer. How did you feel about this scene in the coffee shop where he convinces her and then Neo
That
almost dies? She
that
goes,
was
"Stop calling me Tiffany, bitch," or Tiffany.
that was really cool. That was a well written line. I like that line a lot. Uh, yeah, just because I thought that she would have went with him like way before when she actually does, right?
Mhm.
Uh, and when she actually does, you see like the husband start to get like forceful and like everyone around her like in the background and the side characters and everything start like they stop and they look and they're
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
the programs are starting to pay attention and
And
see
the shit
what's
with the
happening.
kids, where the kids are brought in, I was like, okay, well, I don't. I was about to say, how does she not? How does she fall for this? Because these are clearly not. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
These are clearly not. Like the kids come in, come on, mommy, come on, let's go. And I was like, okay.
Didn't like it that much.
I no, I did not like it, but I was like, how
Okay.
does she? I was like, these are clearly sent in by Neil Patrick Harris.
Mhm. But no, that was really cool. I like that scene a lot. I love the stop calling me Tiffany. Like my name's not Tiffany,
And then
bitch.
she does the
Like
like thing.
yeah, just the
Yeah,
entire like twirl or whatever.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was really cool, really
And
cool.
and then this leads to um the fight in the bar or whatever. And Smith shows up, and he kind of like, I mean, he destroys the analyst. Like he just fucks him up.
Yeah, that was.
which is
because Smith in this one, he's kind of a good guy, right? Like
more anti-hero. But Kirby,
anti-hero. What's your problem with it now?
this Smith is a creation of Neo.
He is part Neo, part Smith.
Can you see where I'm going with this? How does something that is only part Neo and part Smith outpower the analyst, but Neo can't?
Because
I
Smith is
I just
part
want
of
to
the
kill
Matrix.
myself. Like when I watched this, when I saw this, I was like, I just want to die. Like I literally just want to sit there and die. Like I don't know, bro. I know you like it.
Because Neo, he's human. He has doubt. He has emotion, right? Like he doesn't believe that he can do it, right? But Smith, he's a program. He knows exactly what he is capable of at what time and knows what he can do. So he just fucking goes all out when he can, like out of the gate.
He's the one, Kirby.
You need to start
Kirby,
thinking
look
like
at me.
a.
Look at me. He is the one.
Are you tearing up over here? Like
Yes.
I swear to God, I see a
It's so
tear in your. Oh my
frustrating.
God.
They keep jobbing my man Neo. He
Jesus,
is
you
the
need to.
one. He is the one. He is the one. It's not a matter. There's
You
not
are
there's
actually.
there's there's, not, there's
God.
nothing that should beat him. Oh, whatever.
Jesus.
The
Wow.
endless prepare to kill them. Smith interfere, whatever. And then they do this chase scene, and I thought it was kind of cool. The bodies falling from
That
this
was.
skyscraper and just hitting the ground. I like the way they hit the ground and then like turn into the Matrix stuff. I actually thought that was kind of cool. I don't know how you felt about it. As far as the climax though goes though,
You
where
don't
they
like it?
jump, where they jump from the building and stuff, at the end of the chase, it's a little underwhelming. You don't think?
No, because it's the okay. Hey, can Neo fly yet? Nope, but Trinity can.
Which was so
Get the fuck out of here.
whatever, dude. I'm so sick of them. They job him again. I don't know how you don't have more of a problem with this.
I don't see how you have such a problem with this.
Well, I don't really like the Neo and Trinity romance, and then they make her the one too. And
She's
I'm
not the
like,
one.
how is she flying, Kirby?
How the fuck is she alive?
Because they rebuilt her, so she's the one too. Like it's, I can't stand this. I can't stand this. Why can't they just let Neo be fucking cool? It's not that hard. Don't quit with this shit. Quit with this shit where everybody thinks he's not the one, including himself.
Jesus
He's the
Christ.
one, Kirby. That is the end of the
Fucking
story. Oh
maniac.
my god, I'm gonna pop a blood vessel.
God.
So annoying.
I feel like I just saw a couple veins just like
I
poke out of
just
your
don't
neck there. Just
understand. I don't understand why they keep jobbing
God.
him. Stop jobbing him. He's the
You
one.
did.
He is the end of the line. Like, fuck! I
Get,
can't
get her.
stand it. I left this movie just sitting there going, I cannot believe we're doing this again.
I'm gonna
Like,
pop a blood
the
vessel in your
Neo and
neck
Trinity
there.
both
Just
fly away thing, fine, cool. They're
popping
redesigning the
out.
Matrix.
Do you need a breather? You
Yeah,
need a
let's just
cigarette? You need a drink? I don't I
I
haven't
just
seen you that
don't.
mad in a
I'm
while.
just so frustrated. Like, he should be the coolest person in the movies, and he's like a level B at best. I'm like, no, he should be fucking creme de la creme. Like, we should watch him. He should be Superman. They're treating him like he's fucking Blue Beetle. I'm just sick of this. I'm fucking sick of
Jesus
this.
Christ.
Whatever. How did you feel about the ending where Trinity can fly?
I can definitely tell I have a better
Yeah, you must have a better
I
outlook than me.
yeah, I like it better than you do.
This is just, by the way, this is an objective fact. It's just my opinion. But I mean, come on. So, what did you think of the ending, Kirby?
You get a better fucking opinion there, bud. Uh no, I liked it. It leaves it off of the hey, Trinity's Trinity can fly. She can do shit too. And then that's it. That it leaves it off. Leaves you wanting for more. Uh,
That's it.
are you saying if there's a Matrix 5, you're not going to go see it?
I will go see it solely so we can do a show on it, and I can once again complain about the fact that Neo is underwhelming.
God. So, do you think you should have not watched the Matrix movies and saved yourself the time?
No, because the Matrix one is so good. Like honestly, listen, I don't hate this movie. It's a 5 out of 10. Like it's average. You know, it's not
5 out of 10.
terrible, but it's
Jesus.
just average. You know what I'm saying? There are problems with it. There are some big problems with it, beginning with Neo, but there's a lot of cool stuff in it. I think
Beginning
this
with Neo and ending with Neo.
the anything to do with Neo and whatever, just like the way they treat him in general is just so absurd. I can't understand how this is your own character and you whatever. Um, anyway, I like the analyst. Some of the fight scenes are okay. Colleen Wing, what's her actual name? Jessica Henwick, I think, who plays Bugs.
Mhm.
She's really good.
She is.
I
I
love the
so
pair.
so I didn't know that was Colleen Wing until like I was talking about it with my boss and he's like, "Oh, hey, that is her."
Yeah, the Iron
Oh,
Fist girl.
yeah. No, like that's she did a really good job.
Yeah, I thought she did do a really good job. And apparently she passed up Shang-Chi for this movie.
Good choice.
Been a bad mistake. Yeah, I
Good
agree.
choice. Good
Um,
choice.
well, she was like, well, part of me passed it up because I want to keep Colleen Wing alive, and like, hopefully that will come back. Which
It is.
I wouldn't,
No,
I wouldn't
it's
hate that.
she's canon.
Yeah, it's looking like it.
No, she is canon. I mean, come on.
She's looking like it.
No way home.
Whoa, don't spoil anything. Um,
The fuck?
don't
It's
spoil No
literally
Way.
two
This is a
months
Matrix
after.
video. Don't spoil
Yeah,
No Way Home.
if you
Anyway.
haven't seen No Way Home, you're not gonna fucking see it till it comes on TV. So yeah, hey, Matt Murdock was in fucking No Way
Okay,
Home.
stop.
Charlie Cox
I'm
himself.
gonna I'm gonna bleep that. I'm gonna bleep
No, you're
that.
not. No,
Uh,
you're. I will
yeah,
fucking
well,
watch this video to prove you wrong. You're not gonna do it.
whatever. You definitely won't watch this video, and I definitely will believe it. But anyway, so you liked the
Fucking
ending. You thought it was cool. You thought Trinity and whatever.
yeah, and Charlie Cox is definitely in No Way Home.
You're glad there's two that ones. Okay, cool. Um, Kirby, what's your favorite part of Matrix Resurrections?
Matrix. Favorite part? I just want to say Neil Patrick Harris. To be honest, just the like him as a villain was just phenomenal. I was not expecting him to have such a big a role in this part because like the first time I see him in the trailer, like NPH is gonna be in it. Okay, but
Cool.
then
Yeah, I
like
thought he was just gonna be a therapist.
yeah, but like it then you watch him like damn.
Hmm.
Okay,
He
that's
does bring
a
it.
yeah. No, he brings it really well. He does a really good job with it. It's a well written part, and it's good.
Hmm.
It's really good.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. MPH,
NPH.
the bullet time scene, where everything's in slow motion and he's just kind of walking around. He gives us that exposition about how Neo's back and
Hmm.
they reconstructed his eyesight or whatever. Yeah, I like that. I liked it a lot. Um,
It's really good.
but let's move into a sequel speculation.
What the fuck
Um,
is that back? What the fuck is that image?
oh, it's Jonathan Groff and
Oh,
Neo.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Um, Sequel speculation, Kirby. There's a post-credit scene in this
So,
movie, and it's just them
uh,
sitting around the table again. Did you not see it?
I really had to pee.
Oh, that's fine. I'll just explain
Okay,
it. It's not
okay,
important.
okay.
It's just the game developers sitting around the table talking about the game.
Oh, like Matrix 4 or
Yeah, the one that they like the game developers that Thomas Anderson was working with, and they're just
okay.
sitting around and they make like a quick joke. I've seen a couple of online sources say it's insulting. I didn't really feel that
Why?
way. I don't know. I didn't really feel that way. Um, but do you want a Matrix 5? Clearly, they've said Warner Brothers has said they have no intentions of doing another one for the foreseeable future. But would you want one?
So
And what would you want it to be about?
I'm not saying I want one, and I'm not saying I don't want one. Like, if there's not one, okay, I'm fine with it. But if there is one, I'm okay and fine with that as well. Because, like I said before, the only reason why this movie got made was because a lot of Wachowski needed like a didn't want to deal with their grief.
Okay.
Uh, and I mean, it's true. Uh, and so the reason why I think there won't be one is because this was just a project she could fill her time with.
It was also
Uh,
an absolute box office failure.
really?
It made $100 million.
How much was it? Did it cost to make?
Budget was 190.
Well, and
I
then
don't know how
look
well it
at
did
like
on.
HBO Max views.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how well it did in HBO Max. It might have done really well there. I know my dad watched it, and if he watched it, then everybody did. But but
Not
I
much of
don't know how
a.
well it did there. But I don't know if it was well enough to ever warrant a sequel, and I don't think it will get one. To be
I
honest
mean,
with you.
the Matrix is one of those few film franchises that no matter what it makes at the box office, if there's going to be another one made, there's going to be another one made.
I don't know if I necessarily agree because the other ones did so well.
I mean that's what I think about it. Uh,
Hmm.
but yeah, I mean if there is one, okay. If there's not, okay.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in one, honestly.
Hmm.
But I mean, you can tell. Well, I mean, if they advertised it as
I don't think
if
that
they
blood
called it The
vessel
Matrix, the one, then I would be like,
I
oh, I want to go see this.
I don't think that blood vessel in your neck could handle another one.
I don't think I could either. I think I'd probably kill myself. But like, imagine it comes out and it's like The Matrix Redeemed or something like
Hmm.
that. I would
Hmm.
go and see it. But other than that, I'm okay. If there were to be another one, it probably would focus on them rebuilding the new Matrix.
Hmm.
You think? Um, and I would want Colleen Wing to come back. I don't want another one, Kirby. It's hard to talk about a movie that I never want to see. But, what about you? Do you want one? What would you think they would do if they had?
I don't know what they would do if they had another one. They would definitely like develop more of Trinity's powers with whatever she would have, and with
I never want to
same
see
thing
it.
with Neo. Uh,
We
you know,
know Neo's powers. I'm so sick of this.
yeah.
Fuck this. Oh, fuck me. Fuck you. Fuck everybody.
Feel like that's kind of the end of it there. I feel like you just well.
Oh, fuck. Okay, well, sorry, Kirby. I didn't mean to be mean. All right, fuck me. Okay, are you ready to wrap this shit up?
I feel like you are.
Yeah. Well, I just want to die. So, it's
Just
gonna be.
you wanted to do this. You wanted to
We
record
started off
this.
so positive. The Matrix One is one of the
Hey,
best
I'm more
sci-fi films
positive
I've ever
now than
seen.
you were.
The Matrix One is one of the best sci-fi films I've ever seen. And this
What
wasn't
about
a
what,
terrible movie. And of course, everything I've said here is my opinion. Um, and I do respect Lana Wachowski. I do respect them. I think they can make good movies. I just haven't enjoyed the past two Matrix films.
ever seen Speed
Um,
Racer?
I haven't seen Speed Racer. Is it bad?
Ah, uh, well, fuck, you didn't like this, so maybe.
Yeah. Okay. And that will conclude our show. Kirby, where can people reach out and find you on social media?
Yes, because you want to follow a 22-year-old
So he
college
can,
working guy.
so that he can block you.
Yeah, so that I can block you. But the five people that'll listen to this, Kirby Telesky on Instagram, Twitter,
All right.
whatever,
If you guys
Facebook,
enjoyed
because
this,
apparently
please
I'm an old soul.
if you guys enjoyed this, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really, really helps us out. Add me on Instagram at Dylan Reviews. I do little movie reviews there. We're all appreciative of you listening, and we hope to have you back when we come back to talk about Cobra Kai Season 4 real soon. We are in the catch-up phase from our winter break, so we are talking about everything we missed on our month off. Like I said, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Not me.
Maybe you, Kirby. Maybe.
Not me. No, no.